In September 1954, a plane vanished into thin air, swallowed by the vast ocean below, leaving no trace. This was Flight San Diego 513, embarking on a routine journey from Germany to Brazil. As the wheels lifted from the tarmac and the German countryside began to shrink beneath them, the passengers settled in for what they thought would be a normal flight. The sky was a clear blue, the sun casting a warm glow on the plane as it climbed higher and higher. The passengers, some dozing off, some engrossed in their books, or some simply staring out of the window at the dwindling landscape below, had no inkling of the eerie twist their journey was about to take. As the plane cruised over the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean, something inexplicable happened. One moment, the flight was gliding smoothly, the hum of the engines a reassuring lullaby. The next, it was gone. Flight San Diego 513, along with its 92 souls on board, had vanished, leaving no trace in the boundless ocean below. The news of the disappearance sent shockwaves around the world. Families waiting for their loved ones in Brazil despair. The air traffic controllers, who had just moments ago been in contact with the flight, were left scratching their heads in confusion. How could a plane just disappear? The disappearance of Flight San Diego 513 turned into a global mystery, sparking one of the most intensive search operations in history. For 3 years, the world held its breath as the sea was scoured. Ships and planes crisscrossed the ocean. Sonar devices pinged into the depths. Divers plunged into the abyss, all in the hopes of finding some trace of the vanished flight. But the sea remained silent. No wreckage, no black box, no sign of the 92 souls aboard. The world was left with nothing but a chilling riddle. What happened to Flight San Diego 513? For 3 years, the sea was scoured, the world held its breath, and yet no sign of Flight San Diego 513 was found. Then, on October 12, 1989, a phantom aircraft appeared in the skies above Brazil. It was an ordinary day until the air traffic control's routine was disrupted by an anomaly. A blip on the radar, an aircraft that wasn't supposed to be there. The confusion was palpable, a ripple of unease spreading throughout the control tower. An unregistered flight? It was unheard of, a puzzle in the sky that prompted an immediate response. The air traffic controllers, expertly trained in crisis management, set to work. Their voices echoed through the radio waves, reaching out to the rogue plane, guiding it like a lost child towards an emergency runway. The atmosphere was thick with tension as the aircraft descended, a ghostly silhouette against the Brazilian sky. The moment of truth arrived with the landing. The aircraft rolled to a stop, engines humming in the eerie silence. Under the scrutiny of a dozen binoculars, one detail stood out, a chilling revelation that sent a shockwave through the control tower. The plane's number, etched into its hull, San Diego 513. The same number as the flight that vanished without a trace in September 1954. The missing flight, the ghost of aviation history, was back from the abyss. Imagine the disbelief, the gasps of astonishment echoing through the air traffic control room. The phantom plane wasn't just an anomaly, it was a relic from the past, a time capsule that had somehow bridged the chasm of 35 years. It was as if the universe had coughed up a secret it had swallowed up over 3 decades ago. The world watched in stunned silence as the doors of the lost flight were opened. The echo of that metallic creak bouncing off the empty runway was a chilling prelude to the horror that was about to unfold. The story of San Diego 513, the flight that disappeared and returned, had just taken an unexpected turn. As the doors swung open, the next chapter of this aviation mystery was about to begin, a chapter filled with questions, fear, and an eerie sense of dread. But it was the sight inside the plane that would truly chill the world to its core. Imagine, if you will, a plane that had been missing for over 3 decades suddenly reappearing. Now imagine opening the doors of that plane to a sight so ghastly it defies comprehension. The cabin, once filled with the hum of conversation, the rustle of newspapers, the gentle clinking of beverage carts, was now an eerie mausoleum of silence. The once vibrant space was filled with the skeletal remains of the 92 souls who had boarded Flight San Diego 513 all those years ago. The passengers, frozen in their final moments, sat in their seats, their bones bleached white with time. Among the remnants of the past, the skeletal figure in the pilot's seat was an especially grim sight. The captain, once entrusted with the lives of his passengers, sat motionless, his hands eternally poised over the controls that could not save them. The world watched in stunned silence as the horrifying images flooded the media. The shock and disbelief were palpable, the sorrow immense. Families who had long given up hope of ever knowing what happened to their loved ones were now faced with a reality more terrifying than they could have ever imagined. The scene inside the plane was a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the inexorable passage of time. It was a tableau of hopes and dreams unfulfilled, lives arrested mid-flight, a journey that ended not with a joyous reunion, but with the grim spectacle of death. As the news spread, so did the speculation. Wild theories and conjectures filled the airwaves. Some spoke of time warps and alien abductions, others of government conspiracies and supernatural phenomena. Yet, amid the tidal wave of theories, one question remained unanswered. The return of Flight San Diego 513 raised more questions than it answered. How did a plane disappear for 35 years, only to return with all its passengers dead? The mystery of Flight San Diego 513 continues to baffle and terrify even today. Speculations swirl around this enigmatic incident, each more chilling than the last. Some theorize a slip into another dimension, a time warp, or a vortex unknown to science. Others suggest a more terrestrial explanation, an elaborate hoax or a cover-up of a military experiment gone awry. Yet, none of these theories can fully explain the horrifying sight that greeted the Brazilian authorities on that fateful day in October 1989. The spectral sight of 92 skeletons, seated as though waiting for a flight that should have ended 35 years prior, is an image that haunts our collective consciousness. Interest in this chilling event remains unabated. It serves as a bleak reminder of the unknown lurking in the corners of our world, a dark enigma wrapped in a shroud of fear and uncertainty. As we continue to seek answers, the haunting tale of Flight San Diego 513 remains a chilling reminder of the mysteries that still lurk in our world.